What happens when two sisters who built their entire identities around love, beauty, and the cameras find themselves losing all three at once? Darcey and Stacey Silva, twin sisters born on September 23, 1974, became household names through TLC's reality television franchise 90 Day Fiancé. They were glamorous, loud, emotional, and impossible to ignore. But behind the blonde hair, the designer clothes, and the matching surgeries, a painful story was unfolding in real time. From failed engagements to canceled shows to a marriage that nearly tore the twins apart, the Silva sisters have lived through more heartbreak than most people could survive. This is a full, unfiltered story of everything that went wrong. How two girls from Connecticut became reality TV's most controversial duo. Long before the cameras found them, Darcey and Stacey Silva were building something entirely their own. Darcey studied acting at the Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute in New York City from 1998 to 2001, and she attended both the University of Houston and Marshall University. The sisters were clearly ambitious, and that ambition showed up early. Darcey and her sister Stacey co-founded a clothing brand called House of 11 in October 2010. The name carried deep emotional weight. The brand was founded in honor of their late brother Michael Silva, who passed away in 1998 from cancer. That loss shaped everything about how the twins moved through the world. They leaned on each other, they built together, and they refused to quit. That same year, the sisters filmed a pilot for a reality show called The Twin Life, produced by 360 Digital Studios. On the show, the sisters talked about their former relationships and showcased their journey to raising their kids, working, and more. It never made it to air. Rather than retreating, the twins kept pushing. They launched their production company, 11th Entertainment, and served as executive producers alongside their father on the 2013 comedy film White Tea. None of it brought the mainstream recognition they were chasing, but it planted the seeds for what was coming. The moment that changed everything arrived in 2017. Darcey Silva, alongside sister Stacey, appeared on 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days for 4 seasons between 2017 and 2020. Darcey walked on the show with her heart wide open and a Dutch boyfriend named Jesse Meester by her side. Viewers watched her travel across the Atlantic, desperate for a ring and a future. What they got instead was a relationship defined by tension, arguments over wine consumption, and the kind of emotional volatility that made for incredible television, even as it made Darcey look increasingly fragile on screen. Jesse ultimately flew to New York specifically to end things, making the breakup one of the most humiliating moments in the show's history up to that point. Darcey did not disappear quietly. She came back for more seasons, this time with British businessman Tom Brooks, a man she described as grounded, mature, and unlike Jesse in every way. The reunion with Tom ended just as badly. Tom fell for another woman, but only came clean after Darcey had already grown suspicious. He then told her he loved her like a sister, which is about the last thing anyone in a romantic relationship wants to hear. Tom later publicly suggested that there was only one common denominator across Darcey's failed relationships, implying she was a reason things never worked out. Her ex-boyfriends even aligned against her, with Tom apologizing to Jesse Meester and Jesse saying they were both manipulated by Darcey Silva. For viewers, that was a brutal verdict. For Darcey, it was just more fuel. House of 11 became a genuine success during these years. Demi Lovato wore the brand's clothing on her album cover, and Nicki Minaj, Jessica Alba, and others were seen wearing the twins' designs. The clothing line gave the sisters financial stability even as their romantic lives played out as public disasters. Darcey was reportedly paid $15,000 per season on 90 Day Fiancé and about $2,500 for reunion appearances, making House of 11 the true engine of her income. The brand was the thing that kept the empire standing, even when everything else around was falling. Now that the foundation has been laid, and you understand just how much the Silva twins had already risked and lost before the spinoff even began, what happened when they finally got their own stage is the part that truly shocked everyone. Because getting what you always wanted turned out to be the beginning of their biggest unraveling yet. And the audience, they turned on them in ways nobody saw coming. The spinoff that made them famous and the surgery that made them infamous. On June 29th, 2020, Entertainment Weekly announced that the sisters will be getting their own reality show called Darcey and Stacey. The series premiered on TLC on August 16, 2020, and followed their family life, love, and relationships in Middletown, Connecticut. The season premiere debuted with 2.1 million total viewers, making TLC the #1 cable network on Sunday nights for that run. The response was enormous. People could not look away. Darcey's ongoing pursuit of love with Bulgarian fitness model Georgi Rusev, and Stacey's complicated 5-year relationship with Albanian fiancé Florian Sukic gave the show constant fuel. The audience was hooked, and the twins were finally getting the spotlight they had always believed they deserved. The show's second season raised the stakes in a way no one expected. Darcey and Stacey announced they were flying to Turkey for what they called a twin transformation, a series of cosmetic procedures designed to elevate their look together. Their surgeries in Turkey included elongating their eyes with fox eye surgery, correcting previous nose jobs, cheek lifts, buccal fat removal, 360 Vaser liposuction, and breast lifts. The Turkish surgeon referred to the combined procedures as Barbie touch-up surgery. The sisters were thrilled with the results and defended their decision publicly, with Darcey telling Entertainment Tonight, "We wanted everything lifted up on our bodies. Everything's just lifted up." The public reaction was something entirely different. Viewers flooded online forums with comments, and one wrote, "Can't sugarcoat it. The newest plastic surgery is a visual disaster. She and Stacey clearly have a poisonous addiction to plastic surgery that has now gone officially off the rails. Why would two adult, already attractive women willingly maim their faces to this degree? It's no joke anymore." The backlash spread from Reddit to Twitter to Instagram comment sections. Fans who had rooted for the twins for years began expressing something closer to grief than criticism. The twin sisters were also dragged for promoting a clinic called the Comfort Zone Surgery Center in Istanbul, which has a questionable reputation and had been in the news for botched surgeries. The situation grew worse with time rather than better. In May 2024, a fan account shared a cameo video of Darcey wishing a fan a happy birthday, and viewers in the comments were shocked by her dramatically changed appearance. One person wrote, "This is heartbreaking. Who would do this to her?" Another said, "I'd start crying hysterically, uncontrollably, and nonstop." Darcey eventually made her Instagram private after the flood of negative comments became too overwhelming to ignore. A fan posted a screenshot of Darcey's private Instagram on Reddit and wrote, "Darcey's IG page is private now. I can only imagine the comments that she's been getting on her new look." Despite the criticism, neither sister slowed down. Fans blamed Beverly Hills-based plastic surgeon Dr. Robert G. Dorfman for enabling the twins' beauty obsession, going so far as to call for the removal of his medical license. By the time the show's third season arrived, Darcey and Georgie were attending couples counseling and even announced plans for a dual wedding with Stacey and Florian. The show kept viewers engaged, but something had shifted in how the public perceived the twins. What once read as aspirational was now reading as cautionary. Many fans begged Darcey to stop altering her face, with one writing, "She was so beautiful naturally. Why she does this to herself?" Another added, "She doesn't need any more surgeries. She needs an intervention." The criticism had evolved from comments about aesthetic choices into something that sounded more like genuine concern. And in the middle of all that noise, the show was quietly heading toward its final chapter. The beauty controversy was only one part of a much larger collapse. What happened when the camera stopped and the real trouble started is where this story gets far more serious. When love became the enemy. Darcey's relationship with Georgi Rusev had been the central storyline of the spinoff from the very beginning, and delivered drama in quantities that even seasoned reality television viewers found difficult to process. The two had met when Georgie slid into Darcey's social media messages in 2020, and they became engaged at the end of season 1 of Darcey and Stacey. That engagement collapsed. They reconciled, and Georgie reproposed during a beach ceremony in the summer of 2021. That engagement also collapsed. Darcey confirmed their second split in February 2022, noting that the relationship was not moving in the right direction, and that communication had broken down entirely. Season 4 of the show watched Darcey try to move on. She hired a matchmaker, went on dates with men named Cicero and Zach, and neither connection went anywhere meaningful. During the Season 4 finale, Stacey renewed her wedding vows with Florian in an emotional ceremony where Darcey served as maid of honor. Behind the scenes, something unexpected was happening. In late 2023, Darcey quietly married Georgie in a small ceremony attended by only 20 people at their home in Connecticut. She confirmed the marriage in January 2024, revealing they married on November 11th, a date she said was connected to her late brother Michael and the number 11 at the heart of their family brand. The marriage did not bring peace. 2 months after the wedding, Darcey was already hinting at a split, posting videos about being strong and loving herself. In April 2024, she shared a video captioned, "Solo vibes only, independent, and fierce," with the hashtags loving me and single vibes. Her representative eventually confirmed that the couple was going through normal relationship stresses, but remained together. Still, the pattern was impossible to ignore. Darcey had now cycled through multiple broken engagements, a quiet marriage, and near immediate separation rumors, all in front of an audience that had watched every step. Stacey's story was no less turbulent. Stacey revealed that the nightlife in Miami, where the sisters had relocated, had brought old wounds to the surface, particularly around Florian's documented past infidelity. The nightlife kind of got to him, I feel, and so there's a lot of flirting and dirty dancing behind the scenes. "It was very traumatizing for me to have Florian cheat on me publicly," she said. Stacey and Florian appeared on season 2 of 90 Day, The Last Resort, the franchise's couples therapy retreat show, in 2024, making one more attempt to hold their marriage together. What no one anticipated was that the twins' own relationship would become a storyline. During The Last Resort, Darcey revealed that Florian had allegedly gone home with 2 women after a night out. Georgie had been at the same bar, and a woman reportedly told him, "Tell Florian, thank you for taking me home." Stacey was visibly shaken by the information, but matters escalated further when Florian told Stacey that Darcey had been encouraging him to leave her, saying he was better off single and essentially advocating for the end of her twin sister's marriage. Stacey accused Darcey of being dangerously enmeshed in her relationship with Florian, and a therapist on the show recommended that all 3 undergo family counseling together. By the time of the 90-Day Fiancé, happily ever after season 9 tell-all, Stacey revealed that she and Florian no longer lived together. Both twins openly admitted they were struggling in their respective marriages. The women who walked onto screens in 2020 radiating optimism and matching outfits were now sitting at a tell-all panel with failing marriages and a strained bond between them. There is still one more dimension to this story that reveals just how far things had actually fallen, because the cameras themselves eventually went dark too. After the cameras stopped, cancellation chaos, and what remains? In 2023, Darcey and Stacey was canceled, with the show's 4th and final season premiering on January 23, 2023. The cancellation arrived without fanfare, as TLC simply did not renew the series after 4 seasons. Fans have been expecting a 5th season based on the show's previous annual release pattern, and when January 2024 came and went without a premiere announcement, it became clear that the spinoff had quietly reached its end. Rumors of cancellation began circulating in December 2023 as viewers started discussing the absence of any Season 5 announcement from the network. For 2 women who had made television the center of their public identity since 2017, losing the show was more than a career setback. It was a dismantling of the structure their daily lives have been built around. The years since have been defined by continued attempts to stay visible and relevant. As of mid-2025, Darcey confirmed that she and Stacey were in a good place after the fallout from The Last Resort, saying, "Stacey and I will always have each other's back at the end of the day and stay Silva strong. We love each other, but we do butt heads a lot. We easily trigger each other, but we're twins." The twins relocated to Miami and continued working together on House 11 while the tension from the Florian situation slowly settled. They were spotted together at a fundraiser in New York City in early 2025, arriving separately but appearing at the same venue, which observers took as a sign that the repair work was underway. Darcey's marriage to Georgie continued to generate speculation throughout 2025. In January 2025, it was noted that Darcey and Georgie no longer followed each other on Instagram, and they had not appeared together in a post since early December 2024. The social media silence was interpreted by many as confirmation of a split, though neither party officially commented. Then, in February 2025, Darcey surprised followers by posting an Instagram story showing herself being romantic with Georgie and wearing her wedding ring, suggesting the couple had reconciled yet again. In April 2025, Darcey posted another cryptic caption reading, "God told me, get away from G," which her followers widely interpreted as a reference to Georgie. The back and forth had by then become so familiar that even devoted fans had difficulty tracking where the relationship actually stood at any given moment. Stacey's situation settled somewhat after the drama of the last resort. On August 30th, 2025, Stacey confirmed that her relationship with Florian was still going strong, posting a video of herself visiting family in Albania with him. After years of cheating allegations, a couple's retreat, and a near-complete unraveling, the couple appear to be finding their footing, even if the ground beneath them remained uncertain. The twins have kept themselves active outside of television. Darcey and Stacey launched 2 new music singles together and continue promoting House of 11, calling it an expression of their bond and their business identity. The House of 11 brand remained their most stable enterprise throughout all the turbulence, a reminder that beneath the drama, 2 capable businesswomen have been quietly building something of real value since 2010. The brand expanded from clothing into beauty, fragrance, footwear, and home goods, and celebrity endorsements from names like Nicki Minaj and Jessica Alba had given it credibility well beyond the reality television world that first amplified it. Both sisters continue to appear in the broader 90-Day Fiancé franchise universe. Stacey and Florian appeared on Season 2 of 90 Day. The last was alongside other franchise couples, giving the network's most drama-tested pairs a structured space to work through their issues on camera. Darcey has been featured across multiple franchise extensions as well, including 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, where her marriage to Georgie and her complicated friendship with Florian played out for a new audience of viewers who had not followed the full arc. For all the chaos, the public beatdowns, the canceled show, the serial engagements, and the plastic surgery backlash, the twins have refused to disappear. They have made a career out of surviving, exactly the kind of exposure that destroys most people. According to multiple sources, each twin carries an estimated net worth of around $2 million as of 2026, built primarily through House of 11, television appearances, cameo, and brand partnerships. That is not the number of women in free fall. That is the number of women who have learned how to monetize everything, including the disaster. What viewers have watched across nearly a decade of Silva content is something more complicated than a simple downfall. It is a story of 2 women who wanted love and fame and beauty all at once, and who paid a very public price trying to hold all 3 together. Darcey's face changed so dramatically that fans stopped recognizing her. Stacey's marriage survived cheating, but cracked under the weight of her twins' interference. The show that gave them their biggest platform got canceled. The marriages wobbled repeatedly and refused to stabilize. And through all of it, the twins kept going, kept posting, kept selling, and kept reaching for something that seemed perpetually just out of reach. Whether that makes them tragic or resilient depends entirely on who is watching. What it does not make them is forgettable. With this, we have come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do well to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. To enjoy more thrilling stories, click now on the following video that pops up on your screen.